Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To our lecturer, Mr. Ray. Okay, we are a team that conduct Airasia ticket management project. Firstly, I would like to introduce our members profile. My name is Muhamad Rani, a project manager for this project. My job is to organizing and motivating a project team. Next, I would like to introduce my fellow friends, who is Abdul Muiz bin Abdul Rashid and Danial Imran bin Sulastree. Abdul Muiz is a database programmer. His job is to maintaining and updating computer programs and database. And next, Danial Imran. Danial Imran is a database designer and his job is to defining the detailed database design. Okay, we move to organizational background. Our Asia is established in 1993 and began operations on 18 November 1996. Its founder, it was founded by a government-owned conglomerate, the RB Highcom, on 8 September 2001. The heavily in-depth airline was bought by former Time Warner executive Tony Fernandez and Kamarudin Manarun's company, Tune Air Sdn Berhad, for the token sum of 1 million ringgit, about US 0.26 at the time, which $11 million in Malaysian ringgit is 40 million worth of debts. For location and starting routes, the partners turned the company around, producing a profit in 2002 and launching new routes from its hub in Kuala Lumpur, undercutting former monopoly operator Malaysia Airlines with promotional fares as low as 1 million ringgit, which is 0.27 US dollar. In 2003, Airasia opened a second hub at Senal International Airport in Johor Bahru and launched its first international flight to Bangkok. Okay, we go to organizational core business. Airasia providing low fares for its passengers in year 2019. Airasia officially embarked on the Airasia 3.0 transformation journey into a travel and financial platform company consisting of three main cores: Teleport, which manage the aircraft, Flight Belly Space or Asia, AirAsia, and third-party airlines. AirAsia.com, a full-fledged travel and lifestyle platform, and BigPay, our financial service provider. Okay, then we move to this is the logo for AirAsia, and we move to organizational chart. Okay, for the top of the chart, we can see board of directors, and below board of directors is nomination and rem- remuneration committee, executive chairman, and audit committee. Okay, below executive chairman, there is chief executive officer. As we can see, below the chief executive officer, there is chief financial officer and director of business development. And below the audit committee, we can see the internal audit department. We move to current system description. AirAsia provides online flight ticket booking to the tourists. The system also being used to assist with different airline management tasks and to meet customers' needs from the initial booking all the way to completion of the flight. The following information below will be used in developing AirAsia reservation system. So, firstly, each ticket may has its own boarding pass that contains particular flight details like boarding gate, number, seat number, and every details about a single and one ticket. And secondly, the passenger will book a ticket by giving their name, email, and contact number. A passenger can book a ticket for his or herself, or they can book for others too. And then, thirdly, we can see when the passengers making a reservation, they purchase a membership that contains their ID and status. This membership only valid for only one passenger. And then each passengers can booking for many flights. It is important for every passengers to know about their flight specific number, departure and arrival time and date, and also their destination. An airplane can carry many passengers at at a time. Every flight also has a boarding pass that store all the details about the flight. Only one boarding pass is valid for one flight. Okay, lastly, we can see that all the tickets are handled by one or many employee. All the employees' details like their ID, name, and phone number are collected for company users. We move to current system problem statement for our project. Okay, the current system for Asia is slow and time consuming to book a flight. It is very difficult for every person to book through office agents, and then users incur about the tickets through the phones, and it is very difficult for the user to recollect all the main points that they receive through phones, and it is very difficult to calculate what percentage people register and the way many seats on specific plane are vacant. All these problems require quite lot of your time and wastage of cash because it requires quite lot of manpower to try to do. Next, we move to project overview. We see the project objective first. Okay. First, our objective is to improving the short test of the Asia Sdn Bhd ticket management current system. And second, we want to create a complete database to better manage customer requests so they does not have to worry about solving everything at the same time but can determine which requests should be answered faster. And lastly, we want to produce logical and physical designs models of the proposed database in Asia Sdn Bhd ticket management system. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Ikqmal. Okay, now I'm going to continue his demonstration. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, this is our 2.2 proposed business rules, or known as business rules, ABR. Okay, for the first one, we have each passenger can book one or more ticket. Each ticket can be booked by one or many passengers. This BR needs a bridge because it is a one-to-many relationship. We have a total of 6 BR, so the second one is each flight has one and only one boarding pass. Each boarding pass can board one and only one flight. Number third is each employee can handle many book. Each book can be handled by one or many employees. Next is each passenger has one and only one membership, and each membership has one and only one passenger. Okay, each ticket can redeem one or many boarding pass. Each boarding pass can only be redeemed by one and only one ticket. Okay, number 6 is the same as our first one. It has a bridge entity in the middle, which is each passengers can take many flights, and each flight can be taken by many passengers. Okay, next we go over to first proposed entity ARD relationship diagram. ARD. Okay, first we have a flight, location, membership, ticket, person in charge, booking, and passenger entity. But for our finalized ARD, we have a passenger, aboard, flight, booking, ticket, boarding pass, membership, and employee entity. Okay, for the passenger entity, we have attributes of passenger ID, membership ID, passenger first name, last name, email address, and contact number. For aboard, we have passenger ID, flight ID, aboard date, and aboard time. Flight, we have flight ID, flight departure date, flight departure time, flight arrival date, flight arrival time, and flight from, and flight to. Next, we have booking entity. We have a passenger ID, ticket ID, employee ID, booking date, and booking time. Okay, ticket entity. We have a ticket ID for the primary key, ticket baggage, ticket meal, ticket date, ticket booking reference, ticket total trip fare, ticket terminal, ticket from, ticket to, class, and ticket issue date. Okay, next we have boarding pass. Boarding pass, we have boarding pass ID for the primary key, flight ID for the foreign key, and ticket ID for the foreign key also. Then we have a boarding pass first name, boarding pass last name, boarding pass gate, time, date, from, to, and seat. Second last, we have a membership entity, which only consists of two attributes, which is membership ID and membership status. Last entity we have is employee entity, which is attribute is employee ID, employee first name, last name, and phone. Okay, now we're going to select all this and show it on our DB2. Okay, let's get it. I already beforehand for this started. Okay, first we want to select all from ticket table. And this is our ticket table. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 column, which is for our 11 attributes, and has a total of 22 records. Okay, it consists of ticket ID, ticket baggage, ticket meal, ticket date, ticket booking reference, ticket total trip fare, ticket terminal, ticket from, ticket to, ticket class, and ticket issue date. Okay, second table, we want from flight entity. So we just select all from flight, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 column for 7 attributes. Okay, as you can see, it is flight departure date, flight departure time, flight arrival date, flight arrival time, flight from, and flight to. And it has a total of 22 records selected. Okay, next, we want our table from employee. Okay, from employee, we only have 4 columns in order because we have 4 attributes. So we have employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, and lastly employee phone. We have a total of 15 records here selected, and it all has its own attributes. So after that, we want from membership table. Okay, membership table, as you can see, we have only two columns in order because we only have 2 attributes in membership entity. Here we have a total of 17 records selected, and membership status only has 2 status, which is active or unregistered. Okay, then after membership, we want from passenger table. from passenger table, we have our records for passenger 17 total. So for passenger, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 attributes. Therefore, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So this is all our attributes for passenger, and it all is totally filled, not one is empty. And after that, after passenger, we have booking table. The booking table is a bridge entity between passenger and ticket. So it has passenger ID and ticket ID in it, and employee ID for the foreign key, number 3, and booking date and booking time. So this is our booking table 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 column altogether. And we have a total of 22 records selected for booking table. After that, we have boarding pass table. Okay, our boarding pass table is quite look like quite big because we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 attributes for boarding pass. So we have here, right, for the attributes for boarding pass is boarding pass ID, ticket ID, flight ID, boarding pass first name, boarding pass last name, boarding pass gate, boarding pass time, boarding pass date, boarding pass from, boarding pass to, boarding pass seat for the last attributes. And altogether for that we have a 22 rows for this table. Okay, and lastly we have table aboard. In this one we only have 1, 2, 3, and 4 columns for this. So from aboard we have a passenger ID, flight ID, aboard date, and aboard time. Okay, for those 4 attributes, we have a total of 22 records selected. And our aboard date and aboard time right here, as you can see, is from the day, month, and year format. So our total tables, according to this finalized ARD, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 table totals. Okay, we have 8 table totals because this first info and test time does not include because we want to do the exercise 8 for our solution that my friend Abdul Muiz will explain shortly after. So our total table we have here right now is table aboard, table boarding pass, table booking, table employee, table flight, table membership, table passenger, and lastly, table ticket. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you, sir, and I will pass this presentation to my friend Abdul Muiz Rashid. Okay, thank you, sir, for listening.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Daniel Imran. Okay, next, I will continue what Daniel Imran present. So I will start with running SQL example. So for running SQL example, we have problem 1, which is retrieving data for multiple tables. So in this problem, we want to produce a report that lists passenger first name, email address, and employee ID, where their email with Yahoo order by passenger first name. So, we want this result to be displayed. So I will copy this solution. So we got passenger first name, passenger email address, and employee ID. and its result got Yahoo in here, which pass the requirement. So we go to the next problem. The next problem is we want to list boarding pass ID, flight ID, boarding pass gate, and date of all flight that have depart on and after July, and it will be ordered by the boarding pass date. So the second problem will be scala function and arithmetic. So this is the solution. So in the solution, because it ordered by the list by boarding pass date, so we will follow the order boarding pass date. And because of it departs on and after July, then we will select the date that's more or equal to 1 July 2020. Okay, so this is the solution. So the boarding pass date will be more or equal to July, and the problem is settled. And we will go to the third problem, which column function and grouping. So for the problem 3, for all employee, count the total employee that has 3 digits number. Name the column as total employee. So we need to name the column as total employee, and we need to count all the total of employee that contains 3 digits number. So there is 11 of employee that above that contains 3 digits number. So we will look for the table of employee. So there is 15 record, and 11 of them contains 3 digits number. Alright. So the next problem is union. So in the union, so for the union, we will list ticket ID and ticket total trip fare, the ticket between 1st January until 30 December, until the end of the year. So the name, ticket total trip fare, and total price, we name it. So we will find the solution. We paste in here. Oh, I forget. Because why it's not valid, because the apostrophe in words cannot be copied into DB2. So we will create new apostrophe.
Bagi dia editor lah. Editor. Hello, nah. Bagi dia editor. Editor okey. Share untuk minum. Tidak untuk minuman.
Okay, we got the result as same as what we need. So next we will go to the problem 5 using subqueries. So for using subqueries, we will list ticket from, ticket total trip fare, and average of all those flight in tickets that only from Kuala Lumpur in only 2 decimal points order by ticket total trip fare. So we will follow the order for ticket total trip fare. So this is the solution. We need to change the apostrophe. Okay. Okay, it's the same as the result that, and it contains 7 records. So for the problem 6, maintaining data. So for maintaining data, we need to create table employee with following columns. So first, employee ID is 99805 and 55739, and employee name we need to insert Sabrina Carpenter and Tom Holland, and its address just like this, and phone number just like this. So we will first create the table. So we will create the table. So the creating the table is successful. So after we create the table, we need to insert the input, and before we insert, we need to change apostrophe. Okay, we officially have an input. And then the third things we need is to create view pulse info as select. So when we select from test temp, select from test temp. So there is the output for Sabrina Carpenter and Tom Holland. So next, we will go to the problem 7, Scala function. For the problem 7, we will combine 3 tables, 3 nodes, and combine into one problem. So in this nodes, in this problem, there will be Scala function and arithmetic, column function, and grouping, also union. So we need to list the ticket ID, ticket total trip fare from the passenger that ticket class not first class and abort from Terminal 1 showing the effect before and after 10% raise. And it will be sort by ticket ID. So we will see after a raise of the ticket and before a raise of the ticket. So we will go to the solution. Control C and Control V. So before we need to change the apostrophe. We need to change the apostrophe. So this after race. Before race. Enter. So we got the ticket ID before and after race trip fare. So we will go to the next problem. Problem A. We will combine three nodes, retrieving data from multiple tables, column, function and grouping, and union. So for this, the problem statement says produce a report that lists passenger ID, ticket ID, and passengers' first name, where booking and passenger share same ticket ID. Name the column as ticket ID and sort by ascending order. So for this, we will copy the solution and show it to you. Okay, this will be the solution. And it was sort by ascending order. Okay, so we will continue to the problem 9 that contains scalar function and arithmetic, column function and grouping, also union. So in this thing, we need to list the ticket terminal, ticket ID as sum, ticket ID as sum, total the ticket trip fare as total trip, where equal to terminal 1. So we need to show that it's from the terminal 1. And for the last line of the report, display the sum of total trip. So at the last point, we need to display the total of all trip that from terminal 1. So like always, we will copy. Okay. So the apostrophe is in the DB2 format, so we will not change it. Okay. So this is the total trip fare from all terminal 1. Okay. So for the last problem, we will show retrieving data from multiple table, column functions, and grouping add-on union. So we will list the flight ID, passenger ID, flight from, where flight and boarding pass share the same passenger ID. Name the column as passenger ID. Sort the result by ascending order. So we will copy the solution to get the result. So this is the result. Okay, this passenger has to this passenger aboard 2 flight So from JB to KL and KL to JB, and there is we look when we look in here, we know that he take 2 flight. So that is the end of the problem, and that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.